Okay, this is a story that I had to cover. I was going to do today my deep dive review of Yaira number three. I'm going to get to that, having some issues with my overhead camera. And, I got some new lighting and I'm trying to work through that. So, as soon as I can get that all squared away, then I'll review this book. But this story caught my attention, and this seems to be the week, in my opinion, of nostalgia. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's happening behind the scenes. I don't know if these companies have just maybe come to the point where they realize, yo, we really got something with some of these older cartoons and comics, etc., that people really do like and they enjoy. I have found, I don't know if it's just me. Tell me if you're having this same experience. I have found that there are a lot of kids that are learning about some of this old stuff, Jetsons, Flintstones, Transformers, etc., and they're loving it. So this might be the reason why a lot of this stuff seems to be coming back. Anyway, let's get into this article. This is wild. Now, Jim Carrey, I think, is a better actor. I mean, we all know he's a good actor, but I think Jim Carrey's a better actor than most people even realize. And when I say this, I always bring up Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind, a movie that you absolutely positively must see. If you've not seen that movie, Jim Carrey really lets off his acting chops in this movie and shows you why he is who he is. Jim Carrey in talks with for Colin Trevorrow's live action Jetsons movie. Now, part of me wishes it was a cartoon, but depending on how this is done, it could be good. Could be good. It could be cheesy and not good. I mean, it could go either direction. Part of me wants to see it. Part of me thinks it might be cheesy. We'll see. Jim Carrey is in talks to star in the Jetsons live action adaptation of the classic Hanna-Barbera cartoon being developed at Warner Bros. Director Colin Trevorrow, Jurassic World, is also in discussions to helm that project. Let me just say, he doesn't look exactly like George Jetson, but this is kind of funny. I like it. Uh, the project would mark another major studio collaboration for Jim Carrey, who enjoyed renewed success through the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. Look, Jim Carrey is Dr. Robotnik. I didn't see that being as good as it is. And I honestly didn't see me enjoying Sonic the Hedgehog as much as I did. Both movies, I enjoyed these movies. They were actually good. Sonic the Hedgehog franchise, Carrie's turn as Dr. Ivo Robotnik helped those films earn over 1.2 billion worldwide. He's set to return in Sonic the Hedgehog 3, this time as Gerald Robotnik. While no casting has been confirmed, industry chatter suggests Carrey could play George Jetson, the futuristic everyman at the center of the classic sitcom. This was a time where cartoons took on a whole nother vibe. I don't even know how else. I hate using that word. It's overused, but I don't know how else to describe what the Jetsons brought, what the Jetsons actually did for cartoons. This was the cartoon. You have cartoons that different people didn't like. Like some people, oh, I love this one, or I didn't like this one. I don't know if I've met a person that did not like the Jetsons. This was just that cartoon that everybody watched. Trevorrow and writer Joe Epstein are reportedly developing the script. Now, I hope they don't stray too far from the cartoon, because there's really no need, especially with something like this. The original Jetsons animated series aired on ABC from 1962 to 1963 and returned in the mid 1980s. You know, I did not realize that this cartoon was out in 1962. That is wild when you think about the concepts and things they were portraying in this cartoon, like they knew what was coming next. Wow, for 2 additional seasons, 1980. That's crazy. I didn't real. Why did I not know that? Set in the high-tech future, filled with flying cars, robots, maids, and moving sidewalks, the series followed George Jetson, his wife Jane, their teenage daughter Judy, and young son Elroy. I almost wanted to sing the song as I said that. The family's loyal robot housekeeper Rosie became a pop culture icon. She really was. As a matter of fact, I should have worn it. I actually have a Hanna-Barbera cartoon t-shirt. I don't wear it often. I should have wore it for this video. A 1990 animated film adaptation grossed just over 20 million domestically. Warner Bros. Has long explored ways to revive Hanna-Barbera properties with mixed results. Yo, I'm going to tell you what. I think they could do a Jetsons cartoon, but the thing is, if they overdo it, like try to make it too much in the now, I think that's where it'll get lost. Some of the hokiness about this cartoon is what makes it what it is. Keep the Jetsons hokey and the people will come. This is something that we'll all turn out to see. Well, let's say those of us who are old enough to remember the original cartoon. The studio found success with its live-action Scooby-Doo movies in the early 2000s, directed by Raja Gosnell and written by James Gunn. I did not realize that was written by James Gunn. Interesting. The two films earned nearly $500 million combined and featured a cast led by Freddie Prinze Jr., Sarah Michelle Gellar, Matthew Lillard, and Linda Cardinelli. Warner Bros. Is hoping the Jetsons can capture a similar balance of nostalgia and mainstream appeal for today's audiences. This is, of course, one of those things that I think if you obviously get a person that actually loved the cartoon, I think they can bring something from that cartoon to today without having it look or feel too dated, but not losing the appeal of the original cartoon. Back in 2018, DC Comics reimagined the Jetsons through a 6-issue series written by Jimmy Palmiotti. The story gave the classic cartoon a darker and more grounded twist, focusing on family and technology in a modernized future. I didn't realize that. I probably saw it in passing in the comic shop and didn't even think about it. In this version, George Jetson is an everyman trying to adapt to a hyper digital world while his wife Jane works as an off-world scientist. Their daughter Judy is a socialite searching for purpose, and son Elroy experiments with robotics in ways that push the boundaries. The biggest change came from George's mother, who downloaded her consciousness into Rosie the robot, turning the family's loyal maid into something far more personal and emotional. I don't know. I mean, I can see the appeal of that, but losing Rosie was an integral part of the cartoon. This is part of the reason why I love the cartoon. Like, every character fit, and to change one of those characters, I don't know if that would work for me. DC's Jetsons blended satire, sci-fi, and family drama, a far cry from the lighthearted tone of the 1960s animated series. And I think that's part of what made a lot of these animated series work back then. It was the celebration of the family dynamic, which you really don't have. Well, I'm not going to say you don't have it all, but I don't think you have to that degree. Back then, that was a big deal. The celebration of family was like one of the top priorities in entertainment. And I think if the Jetsons keep that, this could actually turn out to be something that almost everybody enjoys. We'll see.